Welcome back to another scripting video. So you've read the title, I'm gonna make Minecraft in Roblox. Now the reason I picked Minecraft is because I know somebody has actually made it before. And here's a video of Flamingo playing it, and just look at it. They literally made Minecraft in Roblox. So it's possible. If this person made it, why can't I? But now you might be wondering, where is that game? Like maybe you want to check it out. Well, I'm sorry to inform you, but it always gets deleted. It keeps getting deleted, but the guy that made it keeps re-uploading it. I don't know if they stopped, but obviously like it's kind of against copyright. So I'm gonna try to make a version that doesn't break the copyright, which means I'm gonna have to create my own textures. So first things first, let's create a block. Now the most important part here is getting the proportions to match. So I'll just load it up my world that I haven't played in like, I don't know, 2 years. And let's see how big I am next to a block. Actually, you know what? I think there's an easier way. They are 1.8 blocks tall. And I think I got the right proportions now. So this is a 3x3x3 block. And to make this look like an actual Minecraft block, we're gonna have to apply textures all around. Honestly, I feel like there's an easier way than actually having to draw out every single texture. And that is to steal a texture pack from Google. Alright, so I just installed this texture pack and I'm gonna upload a whole bunch of pictures onto Roblox and I'll be back. So after quite a bit of time, I got all the textures uploaded to Roblox and applied to a whole bunch of blocks. So here we have stone and cobblestone and dirt and grass. Tree log, obviously with the leaves, that's supposed to be sand. Wood, coal, flowers, also on grass on top of the grass block. Bunch of ores, gravel, clay, and items. Gonna be the basic items. I think everything I have here is what I'm gonna add to the first version of the game. And plus, here's an environment I created. I created the iconic Minecraft tree. I think it looks pretty good. However, you can see like lines in between of the blocks and stuff. The issue that's causing that is the fact that there is actually a texture inside both sides, like over here and here. So I will create code that doesn't apply the texture unless you're close to it. Or actually, it just won't apply the texture inside. That's gonna require some tricky coding. I'm not sure how to do that just yet. And now the next step is, well, Minecraft is a first-person game, so I'm gonna lock the camera to be in first person. And now the game is in first person, but we have no cursor, so let me add that in. And now we have a nice little cursor. And now the next thing I want to add in is sprinting. Now if you don't know how sprinting works in Minecraft, all you gotta do is double tap the W really quickly, and then you're sprinting, and it makes you go a little bit faster. I don't think it's actually by that much, can't really tell much of a difference. And your FOV sort of like zooms out, which is kind of cool. So there's gonna be a couple things I gotta do, one of them being I gotta replicate the jump height in Roblox, as well as the player speed. And sprinting should be pretty easy to program. Like over here, I can simply look up the sprinting speed and walk speed. So the normal walk speed is 4.3 meters a second. Now one block is 1 meter, which means if we multiply this number by 3, since my blocks are 3x3x3 instead of 1x1x1, that should give us the walk speed. And if we multiply this sprint value by 3, it's gonna give me the sprint value. And just like that, I have programmed sprinting. This is pretty cool. I mean, I think it feels pretty, right? I'm kind of having way too much fun doing this, I can't lie. Now, the next thing I want to program is, do you see the little outline around whatever block I'm hovering over? Yeah, I want to add that. And now to do that, I'm going to have to use something called a raycast, which essentially shoots a beam from my eyes, let's say, or wherever the camera is, where my cursor is pointing. Which means, by coding the outline, I'm getting myself ready to program breaking blocks, or mining blocks, sorry, and placing blocks. So there's actually something called a selection box. And if you make that selection box's adornee, I don't even know what that means, to a part you chose, it adds an outline to it. Which is very convenient because it means I have to do less programming. But I gotta make it look more like the Minecraft outline. Honestly, now that I look at it, I feel like it gets thinner the closer you are to it, which is kind of weird. And it's slightly transparent. And now finally, I got the code to work. This was very tricky for one reason and one reason only, which is the fact that not every single block has the same exact hitbox. So if you look at all these blocks, they're obviously the same hitbox, which is like a 3x3x3. And also the flowers also have a 3x3x3 hitbox, even though they're actually pretty tiny. So I had to use some trickery to get this to work, as in I had to get the raycast to ignore certain parts. And now, as you can see, we have a nice outline. So let's test it out over here. Yes, looks very nice, and I can sprint and look around. Minecraft is starting to come together. And now if I hover over a plant, it only does the hitbox. And even if you look at the grass, it's actually not the same size as the grass blocks. Grass blocks is hitbox. It's kind of weird to say. So the hitbox I get outlined is actually something I can customize. I can make it bigger or smaller or whatever I want. This will be handy down the road. Thankfully, I'm actually making some great progress over here. So now the next step, I believe, is going to be mining blocks. So I kind of lied. Instead of doing mining blocks, I kind of added the sun. And as you can see, it is moving. And it's a square, because the sun is a square in Minecraft, you know? And here, you're gonna watch the sunset in Minecraft, in Roblox. Isn't that beautiful? And as the sun sets, this is actually a very beautiful sunset, not gonna lie. The moon rises. Just look at it. How beautiful. And there's some stars. Yeah, so that's a day and night cycle. Got it working. There's one more thing you gotta add. And it is very iconic and you may have forgotten about it. And it is Minecraft clouds. But I kind of got carried away and I already implemented that. And here's the code for it. I'll explain how it works in a second. But first of all, let me show you what I'm talking about. Clouds. That's what I'm talking about. And as you can tell, they are moving, but very slowly. They are moving, and they're gonna go on forever. And now, if you want evidence that they are unlimited clouds, just give me a sec. Here, I increase the speed to an absolutely ridiculous amount, and it's just never gonna end. It's gonna keep going on and on and on, and you may have already noticed that it's kind of looping the same clouds after a while. If they were going slower, you wouldn't have noticed, but yes. So let me explain my methodology. So here are the clouds. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, so here are the clouds. Now I organized all of these clouds into different groups. So this over here is group number 1. This is group number 2. Then we have group number 3 and group number 4. And basically the way it works is I keep moving all the clouds forward together. And once the first leading group, which in this case is this one, reaches a certain point, let's say over here, it is sent back to the back. And then this second group becomes the leading group. And once it passes the same threshold amount, it goes all the way back to the end, and so on. And that I'm very proud of adding. That's not all. I added one more thing. Actually, technically two. One of those two things being crouching. So now when you press shift, go down. But there is one issue, which is when you crouch, you're supposed to walk around slower, but this currently has no impact on your walk speed. And I tried to get it to work, but it broke. I don't know why. You just kind of froze. And that's because my sprinting and crouching code are on different scripts, and it's just the way that I did it is kind of weird, so I'm gonna have to change that in a bit. So I almost have crouching. It sort of works, almost. Not really. It's kind of fun though. Now let me show you what I'm very proud of, even though it honestly didn't take much work at all, which is the arm. I have an arm now. This looks like Minecraft. Look, we have clouds, we have the sun, we have blocks, there's a selection outline, we can crouch. What else is there left to add? Oh yeah, mining and placing blocks. That I still haven't done. That is seriously the next step. I think I finished all the cool little visual thingies, visual sprinkles, and mining and placing blocks may be the last thing I gotta add, and maybe some sort of a basic inventory system. Primarily adding a hotbar. I definitely want to get a hotbar done. I don't know about an inventory. Maybe it's gonna be for the next video or something. But yeah, so I'm gonna add mining blocks now. Hopefully. I feel like I keep saying I'm gonna do this thing, then I end up doing something else. I also want to add torches. Like, it's kind of dark here. Please remind me. I feel like I'm gonna forget. But mining blocks is actually a bit more complicated than you might think. It's not just hold left click and break the block. There are actually 3 important factors to determine the speed at which you mine the block, and one of them is called the block hardness and the preferred tool plus the tool level. So let me give you an example. Let's say you are using your fist to punch dirt and cobblestone. Which one do you think is going to take longer to mine? Now we all know cobblestone will take longer, but why is that? Well, first of all, the cobblestone's block hardness is a lot higher than the dirt, and we're also not using a preferred tool, and since we're not using a tool, then we also have no tool level. But let's say you're using a pickaxe to mine dirt. Now even though the tool level, like let's say you're using a diamond pickaxe, even though the tool level is kind of high, it's still not the preferred tool for dirt because you gotta use shovels for them. But it is the preferred tool for cobblestone, and therefore even though the block is very hard, since you're using the preferred tool and it happens to be a high level, then you're able to mine the block at a high speed. So we have to combine all those 3 numbers together to get the mining speed. And to do that, I'm creating a module script which I will just store a table in, and inside of this table I'll store all the values for all the blocks, such as the hardness, the preferred tool, tool level, maybe what it dropped. So finally, after quite a bit of work fixing a lot of bugs, I sort of got breaking blocks to work. So without further ado, this is me breaking blocks. Yes, breaking blocks. It works. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but let me show you over here. Like, did you see how that texture just disappeared? Why? Why? Like, I don't understand. It has nothing to do with my code. Like, it doesn't, like, see, it's just weird. Glitchy, it's buggy. I don't know what the solution is. I don't know what's causing it. But I mean, it's pretty cool to mine. Like, if I'm mining this block and I hover it to the next block, it'll stop mining. And if I stop holding left click, it'll stop as well. So like, so far, I'm very proud of it. But there is one major component I'm lacking, which is a punching animation, which I am gonna try to do right now. So after quite a bit of work, I finally added a punching animation. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this actually took me a very long time to figure out. So Roblox has their own animation system, but I don't know how to use this animation system. I tried learning it, but I really couldn't understand. And now this animation system would have made everything so much easier, but I'm stupid. So I just made my own little animation system. Now, it is significantly worse than you can imagine. In fact, calling it an animation system is kind of an insult to anybody that works in animation. It's literally like 10 lines of code, but it got the job done. This is the most trickery I have ever done to get something done, but I'm not gonna lie, that's not the only thing that I did. I also figured out how to fix the sprinting and crouching. So now, when you're crouching, you walk slower. And if you're sprinting and then crouch, you also go slower. But as you can realize, it keeps your FOV zoomed out, which is the way it works in Minecraft. And since this is recreating Minecraft, I'm just going to do what Minecraft does, even though I think it's stupid and Minecraft is broken. But if you're already crouching, you can't sprint. But if you're already sprinting, you can crouch. I don't know. Minecraft is weird. That's what I did. And the walk speeds will work. So yes, pretty proud of that. Now also in Minecraft, when you break a block, it drops like a little block that bounces around, which is what I want to add. But guess what? I actually already did it. Yeah, so now when you break a block, it drops the little block. But it doesn't just drop the block, there are multiple components here. First of all, as you can tell, there are two animations applied. One that makes the block goes up and down, and then there's another animation that makes the block spin in circles. But that's not all. You may have realized when you break a block, it bounces a little. It's a little bounce. It's actually a randomized bounce. And this also took me a while to figure out because I don't understand how Roblox physics system works. As you can tell, there's a common theme here. I don't understand how anything on Roblox works. I know how to program. Yeah, so now when you break a block, as you can tell, it bounces and then it starts spinning. But that's not all. You can also pick up the blocks. But I don't have an inventory system yet, so really it's just visual effects at the moment. But it's so cool. Like, you can break a block and it does Minecraft stuff. Anyway, so that's that. But also I added one more thing, or actually two. As you can tell at the bottom there are hearts, and I just took damage. And see, now after a couple seconds it starts to heal again. And if you look at the top right, the health corresponds with the hearts, aka the health system works now. So to make the player take damage, all I have to do is use this function that I created, health.takeDamage, and I can choose how much I want the player to take damage. And if the player drops under 0 hearts or reaches 0 hearts, then they die. And you also may have noticed there is one thing underneath the health bar, which is the hotbar. And yes, it is sort of functional, as in you can scroll and you can also press like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that all works just like Minecraft. But it's actually not entirely functional. Like, if I can't actually pick up a block, it doesn't go in there just yet, because I'm gonna leave that for the next video, as there is gonna be a part 2 and maybe a part 3. I don't know. See, every time I finish adding something, I notice I gotta add another thing, and when I finish that other thing, there's also another thing I gotta add, and there's just a whole bunch of things, and I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, for example, when I got the mining to work, oh, and by the way, it no longer glitches, plus it looks better because I made the textures black, plus they're like slightly transparent, so now it looks just like Minecraft. And it's no longer glitching, which I think made a huge difference. So when I figured out how to get the mining to work, I remember that I also gotta make blocks drop. And then when I made the block appear, like where I broke the block, I remember that I also gotta add the animations. And after I added the animation, I noticed the block actually bounces. And now after adding the bounce, I also remembered that you gotta add particle effects when you mine the block. Like if you look at Minecraft, when you mine a block, there's like an explosion that occurs. And also while mining, there's like, depending on which surface you're hitting, there's like particles that come out of it. So there's a lot of work to do. I mean, to be fair, I think mining is the hardest, or like has the most things you gotta add to it. Because placing blocks in Minecraft really, like, it's pretty simple. There's not much that happens. You just right click and the block just appears there. There's also a couple more things I gotta do. Like if you break a grass block and there's a flower on top of it, you should like break as well, which I don't have implemented. Plus, if you crouch next to a surface, you shouldn't be able to fall. See, like, there is just so much you have to add. Also, when I added the day and night cycle, I also remembered, oh my god, there's clouds. See, game development is very time consuming, and I can't imagine creating Minecraft from scratch. Like, I am not technically creating Minecraft, I'm recreating it. But I'm not gonna lie, it is going pretty great. And oh my god, I just remembered I gotta add tools and tool levels and all that stuff. Okay, listen, I know I sound miserable right now, but I had so much fun doing this and I am so proud of my work. Probably the one thing that I'm the proudest of programming. And I look forward to part 2 of the video. Now you might be thinking this is the end of the video, but that is not true. There is one thing I gotta do, which is I want to recreate a little environment just to give me a taste of what the final product's gonna look like. Because, like, I mean, look at the environment we have right now. We have a block lineup, and I already mined half the blocks because it's satisfying. And I have this thing. It's not enough. I gotta do more. So yeah, I'll be back in a second after I built the environment. So I'm finally done with the environment I created for my Minecraft game. And as you can tell, it is honestly pretty tiny. But that is fine, because eventually I will create a terrain generation system. So this will act as a temporary little map. Now I only have the surface layer done, but I'll finish the rest off camera. I'll add stone and stuff. So like, if you mind this, like, there's nothing underneath. But that's just for now. Anyway, so that's gonna be all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and make sure to watch the next one. Might even already be out by the time you're watching this. And please consider subscribing, as this is a new channel and it would make me very happy. Alright, bye.